Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before we do get started, let me give a brief little review. In the last part, a number of events have happened. We had Deku. Deku, he had a lot going through his mind. He brought back the pit to UA after he killed Six. He then had a meeting with Mr. Aizawa and Endeavor. And this was where they were quite concerned about Izuku. Aizawa wanted to see the monster one of his potential students turned into. He saw this boy during the first day of UA. He saw how it performed at the entrance exams. And now he's hearing all these tales, all these stories, and barbaric acts this man has performed. What he turned into. And he was able to at least finally appeal to the man underneath that monster. And Endeavor, yeah. He asked for sanctuary since Nagant. She was exiled from the bunker. And Izuku provided that. However, he later asked a question to Endeavor that shook him, because it revealed that Toya was alive. Now, Deku, he also decided to experiment on Mazuro, after he confronted Ibara about her actions, how she spied on him and Nedre while they had a bit of a personal chat. Now, Mazuro, thanks to the experiments, has regained a quirk. However, his legs, they miraculously healed because of this. Now then, with that all being said, let us pick up with Izuku. It has been 7 days. UA has been quiet. People, they are still arriving as the storms, they do start to get worse. At first it was rain, and that gradually started to turn into snow. And when the first snowfall came this year, people started to come by. And that meant quite a lot. And we do have Deku, who does somewhat sit there on the carpet in his room, trying to focus on a lot of things, trying to understand these abilities in his head. With Six's new abilities, he's learning a lot. Currently, Deku turning and going to sense of mind, as right now he is using telepathy, trying to understand it. He can pick up on people like they're something. I mean, he looked into Six's memories. He has a quirk, one that can jam radio frequencies. Apparently, that now turns to more than just technology. Now he can hear the frequencies in people's head. Probably the best one to describe it. But that one, who is that one? Someone knocking on the door. And Izuku, he does go to bring his hand up as the door does get unlocked. Going to stand as All Might does sit there in the doorway. Deku walking over and talking about it. What exactly is he doing here? I can't, Izuku. I can't. Looking up. And Deku does stare at All Might's hollow face. His eyes sunken and guilt? That look is guilt. We need to have a chat. All Might looking past Deku's shoulder, as he does a look back at Deku, and he does go to express. They could chat somewhere else. All Might, what you say to them, you say to me. I don't hide things. It's simple. I don't see the necessary point of it. If it's gonna affect everyone, if it's gonna affect you, tell me. It'll get out sooner or later. It won't matter anyways. Nothing will matter. All Might stepping into the room, and currently he does a look around. He sees the pelt on the floor, along with Kami, and then he does a turn, looking at the bed and seeing two people there. Before he does ask, what exactly is going on here? It's a lot to explain. Izuku, this is not like you, okay? This is not who I chose to be my successor. I wanted to chat with you, and this, I don't even know anymore. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters anymore. All Might, are you okay? No, I'm not. And you know that. I've told you before. I don't want to be this, Izuku. I can't be this. And now I know why my mind's been fading, why my mind's been slipping. The more I'm using my power, I feel it slipping, Izuku. I was afraid of that. You had a theory about this? I did. I was hoping I was wrong. I thought you would be okay, though. My quirk is yours, Izuku. One for all is leaving me, and it's killing me. I think it's the only thing keeping me alive. It's quite ironic. Even whenever I die, it's still killing me. All Might, I think you're in shock. Am I? Izuku, my mind is slipping away from me. I don't want to be mindless again. I want it to end. All Might, what are you thinking of doing? Well, I still have this energy. I want to take him out. I'm going to attack. Fight him. I'm sorry, Izuku. I have to. All Might, a few more days. No, I can't. I'm sorry. Can we chat about currently Ibara going to sit up as she's going to ask if everything's alright. And Deku does tell her, no, it's not. Right now they have a bit of a problem. All Might, stepping towards his Deku, does bring his hand up, putting it on All Might's shoulder and expressing. All Might, he's talking about going after All for One. That's good. It is. Evacuate civilians. Me and All Might will have a chat, and when you guys begin the evacuation, tell Tamaki. It might be best if he starts leading people up towards the dam. It'll take a few hours, but with his abilities, he can make a way. Especially if the snow is starting to get bad. Isn't it still falling out there? I know. Have them all move at once. And hurry. It'd be best if they go now. Deku turning his head. As some creatures, they do begin to be alerted about what they're going to do. They're going to accompany humans to the dam. And that is something that a lot of people, they are now becoming aware of. As Ibara does get to rush out the room very quickly. And Izuku, he does go to walk out with All Might, and the two make their way down the hall to the teacher's lounge. Before the two do get to sit down. And Deku does ask, how long has it been happening? I don't know. It feels strange to keep track of. I feel all together one moment, The next I don't. I see. All Might, I just, if I'm going to die, I want to know if you can keep one promise to me, Izuku. And that would be, kill All For One. Kill him. I don't care what you do to him. Light him on fire, rip him apart. Destroy him. I'm going after him myself. If he's as powerful as we think he is, I need to weaken him as much as possible. His forces might come here. Might attack. I know. It's a possibility. However, we already have him outside of UA. One of his tunnels is under the lunchroom. Is it? It is. All Might, I can't talk you out of this. Of course I can't. All Might looking up. And Deku does express. He's been in this exact situation. Fuck, he wasn't even sitting on this side of the chair. What? It's a long story, All Might. We made plans with the military. I didn't know at the time. This was after, but whenever we learned zombies had quirks, that were still people, more sane but with abilities, more aware than the regulars, the others. We didn't know that they could infect us. We knew that they were dangerous. A girl named Jiro got bit. She was hit by Mina's acid and they left her for dead. Who? Todoroki, I think. It's a long story. That same day I lost someone important to me. It was a very bad day. But listen. Jiro came back later. Mina brought her and we took her in. She nursed Jiro's injuries and she later bit me. I thought she was coming on to me. She was afraid, scared, and thought she was going to die. It surprised me is all. I'm trying to calm her down, trying to just get her to lay down, just stay away from me for a minute because she's not thinking clearly. Next thing I know, she sinks her teeth into my shoulder and I learn I'm going to die. I had to kill and bury her. And she was a friend. I made sure she didn't turn, but now look at me. Izuku. It's not even one of the worst things, All Might. We've ran out there in the snow. We've had to survive. We've had to kill. I mean, I remember trying to talk to people. Trying to just help. The military pushed us in a corner where we had to try and fight back. We barely did anything, and what we did do led to the manor being burned down. What I did, I've lost a lot of people I've cared about. I don't even know. Izuku, please. Please what? What made you like this? Like this or cold? You know what I meant. All my trust in people hasn't been the same since I was tortured. Alright? Is that what you want me to fucking say? Because it happened. Not just to me. We found a crazy bitch who, the moment she learned what the fuck goes on inside my body, she wanted to tear me apart as a lab experiment. Drugged up and beaten. That's what happened to me. All Might staring at Deku, and Izuku does talk about it. Whenever he learned he was bitten, he marched into the military's base and demanded they make him a damn bomb. And when he saw the bitch who did that to him, he put a fucking hole through her head. That's what he did. If he wants to know a lot of the shit they've done, ask around. Everyone's gotta fucking tell the tale. It doesn't matter, right? All Might, you're not the only one who fucking suffered. Most of us have had to do things we'd rather not talk about. And now, we do those things daily. Alright? I'm still alive because I'm trying to make a better world. Alright? I can understand that. But Izuku, this world, I know. I know what you're gonna say, just shut up. You do? Telepathic. It's a new one. I'm not gonna stop you. I don't intend to. All Might staring back at Deku, as Deku does just sit there. Him going to express. If he does want, then he can even help him out. Izuku, I already have a plan. I know. Is it to go in guns blazing? Go out in a fit of glory? Do as much damage as you can before you pass or lose it? I don't know. I haven't decided yet. All Might, I can help you out. How? Can you fix this? Can you change me back? I don't know. But I do have an idea. It's a interesting one, but I can mess around with these different quirks in my head. Put them together and pull them apart to make something new. I can look at One for All. Find out what's there and pull some of it apart. What do you mean? All Might, I'm suggesting that you let me make your quirk unstable. More unstable. Instead of you having days or months, you could have minutes. Your power would just go boom. That's my hope. You want me to make myself a dead man switch? Are you opposed to it? No, it's just not where I saw the conversation going. It's a little more than I imagined. I'm sure it is. Listen, I want to do as much damage as I can to him. Give us a few hours. Can you do that? I can. I've got to warn everybody. Let them know while the humans are evacuating. Though, they might know something's up when they see people leaving. Or Tamaki leaving. We'll have to evacuate them. If All For One's more prepared, then that does mean something. Though I'm more concerned about one thing. And that would be Sir Night-Eye has not shown up yet. If he knows what we're doing or planning, he should be here. And the fact that he's not, it's got me worried. You trust him? I don't trust him, All Might. Though I do listen to some of the stuff that comes out of his mouth. I can see some of these futures he's talked about. I think All for One knows he's the traitor. That's bad. It is. Though it could also be good for me. He's expecting me to be tactful. He's expecting me to go at him in a subtle way. You going in guns blazing, he won't expect that. He'll be on the offense, playing defense in his home territory, and if they do come here with that portal guy, then we take it to him. I do what I can, I advance. Everyone else stays here and fights. I just hope that we outnumber them. Or we're all strong enough to make it. Are you sure? I am, All Might. It's time we end this. And if you want to go out, then make it mean something. You're still a hero. The man's staring at Deku. He can see it in his face. The words are sour on his lips. They might be a little hollow, but they do carry that little bit of weight, that little bit of purpose. And the man, he does not, delaying his own execution for a few more hours. And currently Deku does his stand. Right now, him trying to think about what to do. Go through it in his own mind? Pull himself apart? No. This requires the pit. He needs to focus more. Handle things there. And someone, they do come to walk in. As right now Deku does get to see Nejire. Her asking if he's being serious. I am. It's gonna start. It's happening. Not for a while. Not for a while. Once All Might goes off, then maybe. He's gonna draw a lot of attention to us. And All for One, I don't think he's gonna be happy with All Might just knocking on his front door and kicking it in. Okay. So we have time? We do. We do. Thoughts? I don't know. It feels a little scary. Are you sure that we're ready for this? No. No, I'm not. Though we've got to be doing something right, or Night-Eye knows the plan, and he's already in position. Have you been looking? Yeah. I looked into the future a few times last night. And what did you see? A few things. All for One has a chance of winning. We can't deny that. Everyone needs to know that. I'll look into it again. See what I can find. Try to focus on different ideas, different strategies. I can be here. Are you sure you want to see that? It's fine. It's nothing I haven't seen already. Though, are you sure you want to watch those? I will. I just need to be focused. I know it's not real. It's not supposed to be real. Deku going to turn. Lying back onto the couch as Nejire does go to sit down. Her going to grab onto Izuku and go to hold him, talking about it, bring her hand up to his head, about how she's right here if he does need to take a break. And Izuku, he currently does it to close his eyes, as right now he does it to open his eyes on a battlefield, seeing a few things. And then he does it to watch. All for one does it to bring his hand down. The ground starts to crack. It starts to shake. And just as he does get a move, he does go to be killed. And Deku, he does go to open his eyes, seeing Nichirou before he has to close them again, and going to try a different strategy. And that is where Zuko, he does look into different timelines, seeing where he fails and trying to find one where he does succeed. And we do have hours later. Izuku, he already looked at the idea of setting off All Might as a bomb. And that idea brings a lot to their doorstep. Though what exactly that does entail might go from bad to worse. And we do have later. Deku stands in the courtyard. All Might going to walk into the waters as Deku does it a step in as well, bringing his hands up and talking about it. As All Might, he does begin to lower himself down, and Deku does it to bring his hands down. As right now, All Might, he does begin to be surrounded by a glow, and Izuku does sit there, lightning crackling around him as it is a shift from blue to red. And Deku, he does go to tinker away, trying to figure out what would be best and what would be worse. And this is where All Might, he does get his operation performed. And people, they have gotten Yue mostly evacuated. And right now, we do have All Might, who does go to step outside and suck in a breath of fresh air, looking up and watching the snowfall. It's nice. It reminds him of years ago. A decade ago, this place was beautiful. Even now, it has its own strange beauty. And the man, he is leaping off into the air. As Deku, he does get to stand there, watching the hero go into battle for one last time. And Deku, he does express, everyone needs to break up into teams. He told them earlier, this is going to get messy. They need to just stay alive. And wherever they do, take them down. It's going to be a mess. Leave the portal guy to him. If he takes him out, then that makes it a lot easier. And we do actually have All Might. All Might, he can feel it with every step. One for All builds slowly ever more. One for All, it starts to fuel his body, his muscles, his actions, and his eyes, they do so much shimmer with power. He hasn't felt like this since he was back in his prime. It's a shame. But he's going to be a hero. One less action, one less sacrifice. He'll take down All for One, once and for all. And currently All Might is flying through the air. Him seeing tons of creatures, as right now he does go to barrel into the red tower, smashing his foot through the wall before he does go to smash into the wall, before turning and going to run down, crashing down as he has a stand up, looking around for yelling for All for One to show his face, since it's time they end this. And All Might, he has a look around, not hearing anything, not seeing anything or anyone. This amalgamation, this place, the giant bone he sees laying against the wall. It's horrifying. And right now, he does go to turn. Before someone, they do come out of the wall talking about it. It's such a shame All Might cannot agree on things. If he remembers, he was happily chowing down. You know that was not me. All for One going to step forwards, as right now his eyes, they do stare at All Might. Pure, dark black. Expressing, with his white hair, that it's quite the interesting little phenomenon. Doesn't he agree? Things finally go to hell, yet he's still the one on top. Though he supposes that it's only fair. Poetic. You know, there's a lot of things that have happened over the decades he's been in charge. I guess this does prove it then. What does All Might say? And the man does start All for One, not wanting to hear his lies, not wanting to hear his words. But this, it's good. The longer he stays powered up like this, the more he can feel One for All building in his body more. And the man stares at All Might. A small lightning crackle forming around him. Talking about it. Exactly what does he plan on doing here? Alone. Or not. He can sense them in there. What are you talking about? The others are watching us. Hello, Izuku. I'm well aware that you can see me. Looking at me through your little puppet, and I thought you called my tricks low. All Might staring at the man. Before he does go to bring his hands up and clap. And Deku, he does go to blink. Being able to hear that from here. And he does go to look up. As right now, there is where the battle does begin at the Red Tower. Now, portals, they do begin to open at UA. And Deku, he does go to look up as right now a massive portal does go to open. And creatures do begin to fall upon the school. And Deku, he does get to bring his hands up. Currently, him yelling orders and telling everybody about what to do. Make sure the pit isn't destroyed. If anything gets through, make sure they can't. Danger sense going off. Deku yelling for everyone to get airborne and away from the area. Currently, him going to turn and going to grab Ibara before leaping into the air and throwing out Black Whip. As right now a creature, it does come ripping up from the ground. And something does come flying through the air as Deku does a turn. It going to try and take off his head before he does have Ibara block with her arm and bring up vines. Currently, Deku going to spin to the air as he does going to land on top of the school. Him yelling out something as right now he does begin to hear a massive roar. And Izuku, he is going to walk over to the edge. Currently, him going to see a dragon land down. And it is nothing compared to the monster he does see. As Reiko, the dragon hero, does sit there. But in front of her, nay, bigger than her, it's something he's never seen. A massive man. And it just burrowed out of the damn ground. And it does it a roar. Deku going to fly forwards as he does, gonna bring his hands up, shouting for everybody to stay out of his way. And Deku, he is gonna fly towards Gigantomachia, bring up his hands and getting ready for a battle. And with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part. Now, I might be totally leaving you guys off on a cliffhanger with this one, but I am going to be trying to make this battle very large and very long. So, the next couple episodes might be the longest videos on my channel, since I do plan to somewhat try and get them to be around 2 hours. And with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed.